course, we grew up watching you on TV. You shared so much of your life. Now that you are a young woman, you're in a new phase of life, is there any part of you that would want to share the making of an album, your personal life in any sort of a reality or a docuseries?
You know, I always said I would never go back to reality TV just because it is so much to handle. Yes. But I would absolutely love to do a docuseries. I think that would be so interesting, and that's kind of my favorite things to watch. I mean, I do love watching reality TV. Don't get me wrong.
Like what?
Like Love Island.
Oh,
I am so into Love Island right now. But personally, I could never handle it.
I watched the Ashley Simpson show when I was in high school, and it was the whole process of her making her first record, showing the ups and the downs of being in recording sessions. I would love to see the behind the scenes of all of that.
Oh, I would totally do that.
So you'd be in for that?
For sure.
Biting my tongue. Your third child.
Yes.
You have given birth to your third child. Yes.
Yes.
How does it feel?
Oh, I mean, it has been 2 years in the making.
Yeah.
And so it just feels so surreal that it's finally out. Coming from my background and then transitioning into music, it was a very hard transition for people to take me seriously just because I came from a dancing background. And I think now they get it and they know that this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I mean, I really put my heart and soul into all these songs, and they're so personal to me that I think, you know, my friends especially are like, wow, I can't believe you're talking about this stuff, you know?
They're even surprised.
Yeah.
You know, listen, I've loved you and known you for a very long time. I listened to this top to bottom.
Thank you.
It was a delight to listen to. It was hard to listen to. It was sort of like this wild burst of so many emotions. On a scale of 1 to 10, how personal is this?
Oh, 10. I use music as a form of therapy for me. And so as the second something happens, I go into the studio and I write about it, which is very scary at times. I love when people know me to the full extent, and I really have nothing to hide. So I love being so vulnerable with people. Growing up, being a teenager in the public eye, it's important to have those people to look up to that you can relate to. I feel like I was always trying to find that one person that felt so dear to me, and I hope I can be that for some people.
Who was that for you?
I think for a long time it was Billie Eilish a lot, because she was the same. She is so open and she's her funny self on the internet, but she also has badass music, you know?
Have you connected with her?
I have, yes. I mean, I love her.
I feel like you're two peas in a pod. Like, you have similar energy. You obviously take your craft really seriously, but you're both total goofballs. I mean, what's your friendship with her like?
I'm not very close friends, but we both grew up watching each other on the on the internet. So,
any pearls of wisdom that she's offered you?
We haven't really talked that deeply, but you know, I just think for some reason I feel so connected to her because she did grow up dancing and she started music around the same age that I did, and so it just feels very similar, and so I look up to her in a lot of ways.
Of course, I follow you on social media. I saw you were at Tate McRae's show last week. What a cool full circle moment.
I know!
To see that you used to share the stage at dance competitions, and to now be young women in your 20s, you're dropping your album, she just performed and you went to support. What is your friendship with her like today?
Tate is the sweetest girl I've ever met. She is so funny and she's so talented. When I was at the concert with my friends, I was like, yeah guys, I like grew up with her. Like, this is so weird watching this.
Yeah, I know her.
And they were like, wait, what? Like, they just like didn't know. And I'm just so proud of her because I used to watch her write music in her bedroom, like on YouTube. And
when she was like 13.
Yeah, and I'm so glad that she is doing dancing and music. I just think that's so cool that she can do both. And I mean, I always used to look up to her in the dance world even, because she would win everything. Yeah.
Well, you won your fair share, so don't be too hard on yourself.
She's always been so supportive, and she's just a really kind human being, which is just the cherry on top of the cake, you know?
New album, a new man.
Yes.
I'm so happy for you. Fun little BTS for anyone watching at home. Kenzie, we were celebrating your 20th birthday.
Yes.
I happened to be at the same restaurant.
Right next to us.
You just seem so happy, which is what you deserve.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, it's always scary to get into a new relationship after one was so public.
Yeah.
And he is just so awesome. And I'm so happy because there's no pressure. We let each other do whatever we want to do, and it's just having a best friend and a boyfriend is just so awesome, and our friend groups are meshed. It's just like a perfect situation, and I can't believe I found him. He's great.
How did you meet? How do you know each other?
I met him at an after party at my friend's house. We had mutual friends. I've never seen him before, which was crazy. We just talked all night, and it was really, really great, and I was obsessed with him. My stepdad is actually the most perfect man that I've ever met in my life. He just does so much for us and for my mom, and I just can't. I can't even believe I got so lucky with him. He is exactly like my boyfriend.
Really?
They are two peas in a pod. He just does everything without even asking. He is so kind. He's so generous. He just treats everything and everyone with grace, and I really applaud him for that. So I always am like, I found myself a Greg.
Oh,
a nice
wow.
guy. Yeah.
And so they're hanging out while the girls are doing their thing?
Totally.
Wow, so he already blends in with the family.
Yep, it's great.
And I gotta pay you a compliment, because when you and I spoke last year, I was like, this is a 19-year-old who has her head on her shoulders straight. You were like,
I'm too young to live with a boy, I think. It's like, next thing is marriage, you know? And that's a long way away.
now you're 20. Do you still feel the same way?
Still the same way. I am not moving in with anyone. I'm still living with my best friend. So I'm like having a great time.
Yeah.
And I think marriage is gonna be very, very far away.
Yeah.
I wanna enjoy life first, you know? Not saying that you won't enjoy life when you're married, because that's
of course
obviously where life begins, but I feel like for me right now, that is just nowhere in question.
Yeah. Is there anything you're doing differently in this relationship to make sure it has a happy ending?
Totally. I am just being so honest.
Like, it's on your mind, you're saying it out
Yes,
loud.
absolutely, which is something I've definitely struggled with in a lot of my past relationships, because I didn't want to hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah.
Even within friendships, I am a people pleaser, and if they're happy, I'm happy. I never think about myself, but I think in this, I told myself before I got into another relationship that I would be so honest. I would not hide anything from them.
You're not biting your tongue.
Yeah,
It
I
all
am not
comes back
biting
to
my
that.
tongue. I am just gonna say how it is. And I think that's kind of helped keep this really, great.
Yeah.
And I'm like not afraid to hurt, it might hurt his feelings, but I have to tell him how it
You
is.
gotta do you first,
sure.
right? I saw some really cute pictures of, I don't know what kind of fun party you went to recently, but are there any different social media boundaries you're setting this time
For sure.
around?
I will not be doing full YouTube video, vlog, live streams. I can't do that again. I think I'm, obviously if I have a cute photo of us, I'm gonna post it, but I will not. I like us being very separate people, and he also really likes that too. And I never want to wrap him into something so insane and intense. Like, that is just such a scary thing. And yeah, I just think that I can post with him if I want to, but most of the time I'm gonna keep it very private, because I think that's the most important, is to keep those moments to yourself.